How's it going, boys? Need a tough decision here. We got some homework right here. Frank's over here doing some work. We also got some poker to play, so I think that's the right move. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
That's the ace of hearts. What? Well, boys, game time decision. Jack put down the homework. We are gonna go play some poker tonight. Hoping for some good runouts. We're gonna be sending the hideaway tonight. Bruh.
What? Dude.
It's a Wednesday. Rosie is big exam week, so just us two tonight.
We're gonna actually play some hands now that Rosie's not here.
No more folding. Just logged another 1-2 session at the hideaway.
We'll hit some PLO hands just for you. I'm just recording the pre-flop action here, but we look down at ace jack of spades and raise $8 under the gun. We see two callers. We go to a flop three ways. We see a flop of 9, 7, 4, 2 spades. I think that's a pretty good board to c-bet on, so I c-bet for $15. We see a quick call from the middle position, and the cutoff decides to fold. Go to a turn that is the king of spades. I'd say that's a pretty good card, so I bet $30 here with the nuts. Middle position makes another quick call again, so I'm assuming they have a pretty strong holding, so when we see the 6 of diamonds here, I actually decide to size up here, hoping to look maybe a little bluffy. I'll go for $75, hoping to get max value from my opponent, and we do. She calls for $75, and we flip over the goods. Nice little pot our way. Love to see it.
Rosie's not here, boys. We are playing some 5-handed poker. My hand is queen, 10, ace, jack, 8 double suited. The game is Big O, so it's an Omaha variation of a high 5 card. So you're looking for the best hand possible to scoop the pot. I raised up to $20 in middle position with a very connected hand. Any Broadway cards are going to give me a pretty good overall standing on the board. We see a call from the cutoff, the small blind, and the big blind. So we're going 4 ways to a flop, which comes a pretty spectacular one. Queen, jack, 9. 2 diamonds. So we don't exactly flop the nuts. The nuts is king 10, but we flop an open-ended straight flush draw and queen jack. I decided to lead out here for $50. And if you hear what I just said, I didn't say we flopped a straight. In the moment, I didn't recognize that I flopped a straight in this hand, but I knew that I had connected to it with it very well, so leading out $50 makes sense, not knowing I made the straight. So we're off to a turn card, which is the 4 of hearts, and the big blind checks to me, and thinking I want to pot control just in case he is slow playing the nuts here, king 10, I decide to check it back, and we go off to a river, which is an ace. Doesn't change a whole lot from my actual hand, which is a straight, because king 10 was already there on the flop. But now, thinking I've got top 2 pair, when the big blind checks to me a 3rd time, I decide to just check it back with the pot already being pretty big. We flip over the winner after announcing 2 pair, but actually showing over a straight. So yeah, definitely not my sharpest moment. Ended up working out for me. Got to take that one home just to start the day off right.
What's up, boys? We are studying right now. I had a really busy school week and was not able to make this session, but I've got one really cool hand from a recent session at the hideaway that I'm going to throw into this video so you guys get a little bit of me. Let's see what happens. Alright, boys, in my special guest appearance hand, we look down at pocket 10s on the small blind. There's 2 limps. I raise it up to 13. The big blind and both limpers call. We're going 4 ways to a flop of 5, 6, 2 rainbow. Honestly, one of the better flops per pocket 10s. I c-bet for $25 and only 1 of the limpers call. The turn is the 2 of diamonds. It is the 2nd diamond. It's time to size up here. There's plenty of value to be had from pocket 9s, pocket 8s, pocket 7s, a 6, even 6-5 now we can beat. So when I make this bet here, guys, listen to what happens.
All in.
Snap jam. He has me covered. I started the hand with 270. I learned a lesson from you guys in the comment section, which I'm very grateful for, about snap jams at Texas Card House when I was bluffed off of a hand by someone who snap jammed the river. And typically what you guys were saying is snap jams are weak. all in all, I make the call, boys. We head to a river, which is a queen of diamonds. The backdoor flush gets there, a little scary. But he flips over just a 6, and I flip over the 10s, and we are good. We scoop a enormous pot, a little over $550 going our way. That's it for me, boys. Back to studying. Frankie, Jello, take it away.
For this hand, we pick up the esteemed Pocket Jacks, 2 red ones, and we are in the cutoff, 8-handed, and straddle pot. I raise it up to $16, and the small blind makes the call, and the big blind, who had been pretty quiet, makes a 3-bet to the larger sizing of $70. Personally, I like the sizing out of position from him. However, it puts me in a very uncomfortable spot as I'm putting him on a very select range of ace king, ace queen, queens, 10s, kings. So I'm not exactly sure what to do in this spot, but I am in position, and although I'm not doing great against that range, I think it's too nitty to make a fold here. I am ahead against half of his range. So I make the call, and the flop makes things a little easier as it comes Jack high, Jack 8, 3 boys, we flop top set, the nuts, and the player in the big blind does not stop bringing great news to us. He leads out for $50. Nothing to do here besides make the call. If he has an overpair, he's not worried, and I'm definitely not worried about any turn card. The turn comes the 9 of clubs. This time he slows down and checks, and now he probably has ace king or ace queen. But I think just in case he has a flush draw like ace king of clubs, I decide to bet $85, trying to get any value I can. And maybe if he 3-bet light with ace jack, he can make the call here as well, even though that is a little more unlikely. Unfortunately, here he makes the fold, and we take down a pretty sizable pot. Very easy to play that one after flopping top set. Feeling pretty degen right now, not gonna lie. Had a few beers, up about 250, feeling pretty good. Flopped a set with those pocket jacks. Yeah, having a good time here. Couldn't be happier. The thing is, we have a target on our head right now because we've been playing pretty loose. Yeah, I've been kind of just bumping it up for no reason. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, people have been calling me pretty light, so now let's get a hand for value and really cash in.
For this hand, we look at ace jack offsuit under the gun +1. Decide to open up to $10. Get a call from middle position, call from the hijack, call from the button, and our good friend Freddy, who we battle a few times tonight, calls as well in the small blind, and why not, the big blind calls as well. No one likes a fold in this game. We see a flop of ace jack 9, so I would say that's pretty good for us. However, it's a pretty draw heavy board, so when it checks to me, I need a bet here, and I size up to $35. I wish I sized up a little bit bigger though. The middle position calls for $35, the hijack folds, and we see a call from the button. And I get a little bit alarmed when Freddy calls as well, so we go to a turn 4 ways after the big blind folds. We see a turn of the 7 of spades. Freddy checks dark here, which makes me think he was on some kind of draw. The 7 of spades gets a lot of draws there, so I decide to check. We see a check from middle position as well. The button bets out $45 here. I'm not too worried about this price just yet because my hand's still really strong. However, Freddy re-raises to $90. If we look here and we give him the benefit of the doubt of one of the best hands he can have, the king high flush, we're 25% favorite. We're getting over 3-1 on a call, so this technically is a plus EV play. So I decide to make the call, although I don't love it because a lot of times here I'm going to be behind. The middle position player tanks for a while before ultimately tossing in the call, so I'm super confused on what kind of holdings he could have. And to make it even more confusing, the button actually lays his hand down, he folds. I'm not exactly sure what he could have had, maybe he had a straight, just decided it wasn't worth it to continue. We go to a river, and we missed. Luckily, Freddy checks it through, like he's a nice guy, and he shows the queen high flush. So that beats us, unfortunately. We were not drawing dead. We made the right call, I think. Nothing really we can do there. It was a huge pot, and glad to see one of our good friends take it in. Middle position actually let us know that he had pocket jacks there, so we were well behind from the very beginning. The poker gods, I think, felt a little bit bad about that last hand, because the very next hand they deal us ace king of hearts. We raise it to $15 under the gun, and we see one call from the cutoff, and everyone else folds. The flop comes 6, 6, 7, 2 hearts, so we flop the nut flush draw, and I lead out for $20. See a quick call from the cutoff, and we're off to a turn, which is the king of diamonds. Not too bad. I decide to continue here. I bet $25 because there are a lot of draws there I can charge. He calls at $25, And we are off to a river which comes the 4 of clubs. Although our flush doesn't get there, our hand still has a lot of showdown value. And although I consider checking here, I've seen this guy call pretty light, so I decide to lead out for 50. He thinks about it for a second before laying his cards down, which is okay with me. I'm just happy to take down a nice little pot to make up for the losses from last hand.
For the last hand of the night, we have a very fun one. I pick up King, Queen of Hearts in the hijack and I bump up to $12. And the person on a big blind, Frederick, makes the call. We're going heads up to a flop. Frederick, better known as Freddy, is a dealer at the Hideaway and actually was in the music video we had just shot with Swami D. So I have a pretty good relationship with him and he had been playing very loose at this moment. So knowing that, we go to a flop which comes 3-7 jack and we hear some beautiful words from Freddy himself.
You know the biggest bluff in the world is if you hit the nuts and you fold it face up saying, I fold. That is the biggest bluff ever.
So after that beautiful speech, I decide to bet small for $15, try to get him out of the hand early. That does not happen. He makes the call, and I think he could be calling here with any 2 cards. We'll go off to a turn, which is the 10 of diamonds. Not a great card.
Do you have a diamond when you bet that?
He doesn't believe I have a diamond, so he leads out for $15. Now that I have the open ender, obviously not going to be happy with hitting the straight, but I decided to make a call with 2 overcards, thinking I still may be good. Go off to river, which is a very interesting one. It's the 5 of diamonds. And this is when Freddy now leads out for pot around $75, and the hand gets very interesting. Freddy decides to show me a card. I tell him he's showing me the ace of hearts.
That's the ace of hearts. What? That's the ace of hearts. Yeah, you showed a little too much.
Freddy shows us too much of the card there, as I definitely noticed that it's the ace of hearts, not the ace of diamonds as he was trying to represent. However, I still am very confused.
What is going on here?
The reason why I'm in such a dilemma is I don't really believe him knowing that one of his cards is not a diamond, but if I do make the call, the best case scenario is I'm chopping because I am playing the board. I let him have this one after a lot of deliberation. I make the fold as he decides to flip right over ace queen offsuit. So Freddy, good job there. And I want to give a shout out to Freddy, who's the lead singer for a local Dallas original rock band called None in a Row. Make sure to leave a link in the description below if you want to check that out yourselves. Thanks for making this hand interesting, and yeah, you got this one over me. Good bet.
What's up, guys?
What's
How's it
up,
going?
boys? It is late.
That was a way longer session than we expected. Played for, I think, 6 or 7 hours
This
there.
mofo would not leave. He would not
addicted.
leave. Yeah, so if you were following our Instagram stories, you know we went up early, which was good news for us, but then unfortunately chipped down a little bit, cash for $506 after all the membership fees and everything. So profit of $206 for the day. Pretty solid. I was up $360 at one point. Wish I could have kept that, but very happy with how it turned out. Jello?
I was up big at one point, as you guys know. I was up around 300 and ended up catching some tough hands and ended exactly at 300 again. So we broke even for the day. I guess you can book that as a win.
If you're not losing, it's a dub in our book. All right, boys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. We got 1-3 coming at Texas Card House. We got tournaments coming up, all of it and more. So make sure you're tuned in.
Make sure to follow our Instagram, Next Gen Poker, the Next Gen Poker. Like and
Instagram,
subscribe.
The Next Gen Poker. Make sure to follow us. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.